All right, well, hi everyone. It's Monday, June 30th, 2025. It's currently 11:37 a.m. That's a good time. And I'm just sitting here on my couch in the dome, playing a little old guitar and thinking about everything, trying to kind of summarize and condense down my experiences a little bit so that I could upload an update video. So I think the last video on the channel, I was in Philadelphia in my apartment getting ready to hop in the lift and go to the airport. And I didn't sleep that night, and I was really emotional for some reason, going into sort of the depths of who I am and sort of how I'm going to lead myself in the world. Now, approximately 2 weeks has passed by. I'm back home. I used to be living in an airstream, and now I'm back in the dome. That's a kind of a long story. I just submitted a list of prompts regarding what I know that I don't know, and I sent that list off to my advisors. And now I'm starting to think about writing an introduction to the first chapter, or maybe this is some sort of prelude. We'll see. But the ideas in my head are percolating around, trying to make sure that someone just picking up my book and reading the first, opening lines, or even if I'm talking to them in person, what am I going to open with? What's the introduction? What is the entry point for someone who doesn't spend time thinking about what I'm thinking about? So I guess I'm trying to remind myself as I'm writing that I am not my audience. Like, the center of my knowledge is not the standard bearer for knowledge in someone else. So I'll give a little anecdote here that sort of sheds light on what I'm working on. The the idea here is that I was calling this project mistake making in the performing arts. And that might still continue to be what I ultimately call this. Mistake making in the performing arts. It establishes something fairly recognizable to a person listening or reading, right? Mistake making sounds like mistakes being made in the performing arts. So, performing arts suggests to most people music, theater, and dance. And I would describe that as very accurate. Now, as I have sat with this, I started thinking about a more broad term beyond mistake making, and now I'm calling this idea live performance anomaly. Live performance anomaly. Is it still working the same? No. The three words now suggest that I'm looking at live performance, things going on that weren't planned. Right? There is nominal, and then there's anomaly. There's what's normal, and then there's deviations from normal. This gives me the same access point because what's normal is what I have previously described as an ideal model. And anomaly, right, what's not normal, are the things that occur during the live performance that deviate from that ideal model. So we have two different large subsets of deviations. One are accidents, and the other are mistakes. So you can see how the tree branches, right? So back to the anecdote. I went out with my family, out to dinner with a family friend. And he's this older gentleman. He is from Europe. English was not his first language. And, he's in his like mid 60s. And as we were walking into the restaurant, he's like asking me what my dissertation is in, or what's my field. So I told him, I said, "Oh, I'm studying live performance anomaly." And he kind of looked at me inquisitively for a moment, and he said, "Well, what's anomaly?" Oh, I got a little, flustered because I recognize how egocentric I am and have been and probably continue to be, that I would assume that people know what the word anomaly means. Live performance is pretty self explanatory, but anomaly is like, whoa, I've never heard of that word, because it's kind of like a scientific word, I guess. or it's a more academic word, anomaly. So, yeah, that means to me, even though it's just a sample size of one, I'm sure there are many out there, where if I say, oh, I'm studying live performance anomaly or anomalies, they may not understand what I'm talking about. But if I say, oh, I'm studying mistake making in the performing arts, they might get it, right? But I don't want to say mistake making anymore because it's actually a subgroup. Mistakes are a small piece of the overall picture that I am trying to illustrate. So that's what I'm working on. And I'm flying out to Seattle tomorrow morning, July 1st, to go visit my best friend. And yeah, so life is just ongoing, and I'm like writing and thinking and trying to clean my land up and get it organized and resituated. I don't even know if I've mentioned it, but I was, in a serious relationship with someone for a year, and we lived on the Sun Spiral land for 6 months together, and a lot of her belongings are still here. I'm surrounded by them, in fact. And so, yeah, I'm like, there's like all these things going on at once, everything overlapping. And, that relationship ended. And so, like, again, there's just so much I haven't really updated the channel about. And I think that's okay because I'm still sort of processing all the way through it. But, by the time I finish processing, it'll be years, I imagine. So, yeah, I don't know. Uh, all is well. Definitely alone, solitary. It doesn't carry any negative feelings at the moment. In the past, it certainly had. Uh, Excited to be working and researching and trying to think and be, honest and like forthright, like really trying to be vulnerable in the sense of not coming from a place of being an asshole, which I've been told I am by many people over many years. So I don't want to come off as like a dirge or, be an asshole or so stuffed up my own ass that people can't understand what I'm talking about and they're just like, yeah, cool guy, like whatever, man. just just chill out, bro. Again, though, I shouldn't be concerned with what other people think of me, and so there's just a lot of growth and development happening, or like, maybe I had some sort of structural integrity that has been, stressed to its limits, and I'm sort of exploring if there are any fractures or areas that need, more extensive repairs. Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's your update. Let me know if you have any questions. I know that many of you maybe get through the first 30 seconds of these things and then you just click on to another video. So that's cool too, but if you stuck around, say hi, let me know who's watching, and that way I can have a more personal conversation with people who actually care about what's going on. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you maybe up in Seattle.